My wife announced, "I'm pregnant, but I'm not sure if it's yours." I told her there was no problem. Then I scheduled a DNA test. What the doctor told us was worse than I thought. I went scorched earth. When my wife said those words, she stood in the kitchen holding a mug like it was a shield. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just nodded and said, "Okay, then we'll do a DNA test." I think she expected me to fall apart or start begging her for the truth, but I stayed calm. I booked the appointment while she stared at the floor like it was suddenly fascinating. The silence felt heavier than anything she could have said. The whole drive to the clinic, she kept wringing her hands like she had rehearsed a speech but couldn't remember it. I just watched the road and tried to piece together the last few months. Her late nights, her sudden girls' nights, the way she guarded her phone like it held nuclear codes. I ignored every red flag because I thought we were just going through a rough patch. But when she said she wasn't sure if the baby was mine, something inside me finally went numb. At the clinic, we filled out forms, answered questions, and tried to pretend we were a normal couple. The doctor explained the process, took samples, and told us the results would come back soon. But then he paused, looked at her chart again, and asked my wife if she could step into his office for a moment. When they came back, her face looked drained of color. The doctor sat down and said he couldn't run the test yet because the timeline she gave didn't match the medical findings. He asked if she wanted to explain or if he should. She stayed frozen, so he said it calmly. "Based on the measurements, you're closer to 12 weeks. 12 weeks, not the 5, she told me. 12. My stomach dropped because 12 weeks ago I wasn't even in the country. I had the passport stamps, flight receipts, and contract paperwork to prove it. The doctor didn't know that, but I did. My wife did too. And the moment he said it, she broke down with this ugly cry, whispering, "I didn't mean for this to happen." Like she tripped and fell into someone else's bed by accident. I walked out, didn't slam a door, didn't say a word. I just drove home, packed a bag, changed my passwords, and shut down every piece of access she had to my accounts. While she kept calling, I started digging. And that's when everything snapped into place. The father wasn't a stranger. He wasn't a co-worker. It was the same family friend she swore was like a brother to her. The guy who always showed up when I was working out of town. The guy who insisted he was just helping around the house. The guy she defended every time I said he was getting too comfortable. I found messages, photos, plans they made, conversations about how they didn't mean for things to go this far but couldn't stay away from each other. I sent everything to her parents who always said I wasn't doing enough for their daughter. I sent it to her siblings who acted like she was some perfect angel. And finally, I sent it to the guy's wife. She called me in shock, then in anger, then in heartbreak. Within one night, he was kicked out. She filed for separation, and my wife's entire support system crumbled. My wife showed up at the house crying, begging, and blaming stress, loneliness, hormones, anything but herself. She said the baby didn't deserve a broken home. I told her, "The home broke the moment you decided honesty wasn't part of our marriage. We divorced fast, cleaner than I expected." She tried to convince me to stay friends. I blocked her. And the man she cheated with, he tried apologizing too, saying he never meant for things to get this messy. But that's the thing about secrets. They stay buried until someone brings a shovel. And that day, I dug everything up and let the truth do what it does best. Spun.